So, too many wives underestimate the power and authority of God. Too many wives underestimate the power and authority of God. One of the greatest revelations I received from the Lord was stop trying to figure it out. Just stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to make sense of it. Stop trying to analyze it. Stop overthinking it. Stop, doing your investigation. Just stop. Just stop trying to figure it out. That is where your freedom resides. The moment you make a decision to stop trying to figure it out, that's where your freedom resides. God reminded me recently of a Bible verse back in Mark 9:23, when they came up to me and said, up to Jesus, and he's like, Lord, if you can, if you can do this, God, like if you can fix the situation. And Jesus was like, what you mean if I can? Like, what do you mean if I can? Like, do you not know who I am? Too many individuals are underestimating the power of God. Too many individuals are underestimating the authority that God has. I know people say sometimes, like, well, they have their own self-will. They have their own self-will. And I always just beg to differ with that and say, until a certain extent. Until a certain extent. Because when God wants to get to a person and when God wants to change a thing, that happens. That happens. And so I just want to just share that. Like, stop trying to figure it out. Let this be the season that you stop trying to figure it out. Let this be the time. Let this be the day. Let this be the hour. Let this be the moment that you stop trying to figure it out. You stop trying to think for God. He tells us in his word that, my thoughts are not your thoughts. My ways are not your ways. Stop trying to figure it out. And it was so subtle. It was like a subtle feeling that, came in my spirit. It's going to be how I say it's going to be. Now, you can try to fight it. You can try to, interrupt it. You can try to hinder it. You can try to, alter your season. You can do those things. But it does not change my mind about what I say about a thing. God said, I can change your situation in a blink of an eye. I can change your situation in a blink of an eye. Stop underestimating me as if I'm regular. People out here treating God like he's just regular. Stop underestimating me. Stop thinking I can't do a certain thing. Stop thinking that your situation and your circumstances is so bad and so horrible that I can't intercede. What you have to understand, and what I always try to encourage, right, is if God is allowing a thing to happen, it's not you trying to figure out, like, oh my God, like, you see this stuff happening, and oh my God, like, why you ain't doing nothing about this? Like, God, why you haven't stopped this? Why you haven't, interceded? Why you haven't stopped this situation? Instead of you doing that, the real thing that you really need to be doing is trying to figure out, okay, God, you allowing this to happen, so what are you trying to show me? You allowing this to happen, so what is it you're trying to teach me in this? I've come to you and I've prayed about it, and the situation has not changed. In fact, the situation has gotten worse. So because this is happening, what it is that you're trying to teach me in this? What is it you're trying to show me in this? People are trying to avoid the process. And it's like the oil is produced in the process. Your growth is produced in the process. Maturity comes from the process. Development takes place in the process. Transformation happens during the process. And so many people are trying to bypass that process. They're trying to bypass that hard thing. And let me tell you, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. When you are married to an unhealthy spouse and they done went completely left on you, like what? Wait, what you do? But they went way over there. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to figure it out. I had a client reach out to me recently and share, how, her spouse, is, talking reckless. Like, oh, I want to just, get a divorce. Oh, I want to just, I want this to come to the end. Like, I don't want to do this no more. And what I would say to that is, it's not for that wife to try to persuade him, try to stop him, try to interrupt, try to, jump into that, oh, why, or, it's not her job to do that. Her job is to go seek the counsel of the Lord. Her job is to not help her husband. Don't help. I always tell my wife clients, don't help your husband to divorce you. When your husband presents you with a situation like that, you have to go and seek counsel of the Lord. And whatever instructions the Lord gives you from that moment, you follow through with that. Don't you be like, oh, well, he want a divorce, so I'm going to just, go ahead and start doing this. Like, don't you start acting undignified because he's being undignified. Don't you start acting like him. Don't you be like, oh, well, he don't want to be with me no more, so, I might as well go inside living my best life too. I might as well go out here and, just start balling out too. That's not the time to do that. When your husband presents you and comes to you and say that he wants a divorce, that's your time to go and seek the counsel of the Lord. That's your time to get accountability. That's your time to go and see somebody, not for your husband, but for you. My husband came to me. He presented to me. He said he wanted a divorce. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this. Like, is this what he wants? This is what he wants. Like, okay. But I would intervene and say, don't just give it, oh, this is what he wants, this is what he wants. Don't come in agreement with that, wife. You have to understand. That spirit of Python is serious, okay? It's a serious spirit, all right? And what that thing is trying to do is suck the life out of you. It's trying to suck the living life out of you. Don't come in agreement with him because he said he want a divorce. Don't just like, oh, I might as well just, throw in a towel and just, No, that's not your time to come in agreement with him. That's your time to go seek the counsel of the Lord and see what God has to say about your situation. And stop trying to make sense of it. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to, oh, well, he must be wanting a divorce because he got this going on. Do you know how many wives that I have coached who husbands have presented to them divorces? They went through with a divorce, and not even 3 months, 6 months, a year later, that person reconciled back with their wife. Or that person, made a decision, came to them and said, I made a bad decision. I shouldn't did that. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what was wrong with me. Do you know how many wives that I talked to who husbands made a decision to divorce and it was the worst decision they have made of their lives? Wife, don't come in agreement with your husband because he wants a divorce. You let him do what he wants to do, and you go seek the counsel of the Lord. You go get healing for yourself. You go take care of yourself. I always tell wives, when your husband start to act all kind of crazy, all kind of lopsided, all kind of foolish, let him be. Let him be. That's your time to work on you. That's your time to seek God. That's your time to get right. That's your time to get healthy. That's your time to be delivered. That song, what's her name? Leandra Johnson. Lord, deliver me. 'Cause all I keep doing is hurting me. I ain't no singer, but I like that song. And the revelation that I had got from that song was, when God deliver you, stay delivered. When God heal you, stay healed. When you see that God is actually doing something in your life and he's doing something different in your life, then don't get called up back into that. Don't let that Python spirit come and try to squeeze the life out of you. Don't get caught back up in that. Right? When God is trying to do deliverance and trying to bring healing to you, and he's bringing people in your life to help you to heal, and he's bringing people in your life to help you get on the right track, stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to figure it out. If your husband presents to you or comes to you and say, hey, I want to get a divorce, okay. You don't have no control over a person's choices. You don't have no control over what a person wants to do. You don't have no control over that, wife. You don't have no control over that. But you don't have to come in agreement with it either. You don't have to volunteer to his foolishness. You don't have to come in agreement with what he's doing just because he say he wants a divorce. Too many wives get caught up when their husbands say they want a divorce. When half the time they don't want a divorce, they just want the freedom to do what they want to do because they don't want to be guilty or feel guilty about what they're doing. Most of the times when husbands come to their wives and say they want a divorce, it's not because they want a divorce. They really want their wife to, like, if you can sit here and just be patient and let me just like run the streets and do whatever I want, then, you know, that'd be good. That's what they really want, right? They really don't want a divorce. But because they don't want to feel guilty, because that guilt is so heavy, it's like, well, you know, let me just get out of this marriage. Let me just come out of this so then I won't feel so bad about what I'm doing. Then they go out there and do it and experience it. And then they find out, like, that ain't even what I want. That ain't even what I want. So many husbands, you know, they walk into, you know, this sin life and thinking, oh, I'm going to just like put my toes in. I'm going to just kind of like just, you know, step in and just kind of get back out. But it ain't that easy. It ain't that easy. Sin is easy to get into, but it's a hell of a harder way to get out. It's easy to get into, but baby, you ain't just gonna come out just like you was with, like, it ain't gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna just walk on out here, like, you gonna put your little thing up like you Xing out of the church. No, that's not how this go. That's not how this go. Wives have to learn how to yield to the spirit of, to the Holy Spirit. Wives have to understand and learn the power that they have in the Lord. Wives have to know and understand the power and authority that they have. Wife, do you know how powerful your silence is? Do you know how powerful it is for you to be meek? Do you know how powerful it is for you to just to be, you know, in your presence in the place? And you don't have to say a word. You don't have to say a word. When you are in the house with that unhealthy husband, and you are in the house dealing with that unhealthy husband, and that husband is acting all kind of crazy, and he like, oh, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna do this. Okay, all right, all right. Now you might be kicking and screaming and hollering, you feeling all kinds of ways, but guess what? That's the time then you need to go and go be by yourself. That's the time you need to veer off and go let God minister to you. That's the time when you do need to get that healing. That's the time you need to sign up for her buoyancy boost. Hello. Okay? That's the time when you need to do that. Don't allow your husband shenanigans to get you all discombobulated. Don't come in agreement with that spirit. Don't get all called up. Don't let that python spirit come on you. Stop trying to figure it out. If God is allowing it, figure out why. For yourself. Whatever that ninja got going on, whatever he's doing, whatever he feel like he's doing and getting away with it, if it ain't right, God gonna deal with him. But what wives mess up is they try to intercede. They try to get in. Oh, I'm gonna do that. They try to act like him. Now the devil got both of y'all acting like fools, and he cannot help you like that. God cannot help you like that. You start acting like your husband, you become just like him. Wives, you gotta get out of that. Stop trying to figure it out. If God has delivered you, if God is healing you, if God is working on you, stay healed, stay delivered, stay set free. Don't be overthinking things. Don't be trying to, oh, he wanted divorce now all of a sudden. Okay. Sometimes people act like divorce is the end of the world, or that it's no more life after that, and that's not true. That's not true. Because you have to know, wife, if God has allowed that divorce to take place, or if God allows that divorce to take place, who does it benefit? What would be the reason behind that? What would be the reason behind it? If God say he allowed that person to go, you've been praying, you've been fasting, you've been seeking God in prayer, you've been, asking God for, to heal your marriage and touch your marriage, but then that divorce still happens, guess what? That means that God was looking out for you. That means that God was seeing something that you didn't see. That means God knew something that you didn't know. Stop trying to figure it out. Don't come in agreement with shenanigans. Don't come in agreement with your husband's foolishness. Don't come in agreement with that. Stop trying to figure it out. Get some accountability. Seek God. Seek God's counsel. Seek God's counselor first, and then get you some accountability. I want to encourage you, wife. I want to encourage you on today to sign up for her buoyancy boost. You can sign up at www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. Blessings.